Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm going to go through my entire Beatles vinyl collection once again, my personal vinyl collection, and let's go through the UK Stereo LPs. First one is Please Please Me. Flip back sleeve. And here's a record here. This is the 1 EMI box, black and silver label. This uses the -1 matrix numbers on both sides. Next is a counterfeit of Please Please Me in stereo. And the reason I got it is because of this, the black and gold Parlophone label. The original pressing of this from 1963 goes for lots of money. I had to get this so I don't have to use a lot of my dough to get the first pressing. And this sounds really good too. It's on black vinyl. Next LP is with the Beatles in stereo. Flip back. This one's Ernest J. Day instead of Garrett and Lofthouse. Here's the record here. First pressing. Next is Hard Day's Night in stereo. Here's the record right here. Next LP is Beatles for Sale. Here's the Beatles for Sale record. Next LP is Help. Here's the Help record. Next we have Rubber Soul. This one is a very first pressing of Rubber Soul in stereo. If you could see, it has a Times New Roman font for the song titles. And the matrix numbers are -2 on both sides. And this is a new copy I got earlier to replace the scratched up one that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And here's another Rubber Soul, Ernest J. Day sleeve. If you could see it. Here's Rubber Soul record right here. The font is different on the song titles. The matrix numbers are -3 on both sides. And here is the scratched up copy I was referring to right here. The replacement came with just this sleeve right here. It didn't come with the replacement didn't come with the actual album sleeve. And I moved a scratch copy to the sleeve that the replacement came in. Same exact copy, -2 matrix numbers on both sides. There's a deep scratch on Drive My Car. That's the only flaw of this copy, but the rest of the copy plays great. Next we have Revolver in stereo. Here's the record here. Next is a compilation released in the mid-60s, a collection of Beatles oldies. Next, we have my barely played copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Here's the stuff that's inside that barely played copy, the cutouts. Here's the record. And here's the psychedelic red, pink, and white inner sleeve that comes with the barely played copy. And here's my played copy of Sgt. Pepper, same UK first pressing. Here's the record here. And this is an early 70s reprint of the White Album. And here's the first pressing, top loader pressing of the White Album. It is a top loader. My number is 058268. And here's the record here. Dark green apple label. Here's the 4 pictures. And here's disc 2 of the White Album. And here's the poster here. Poster's in nice shape too. Next we have Yellow Submarine. Next is Abbey Road, my barely played copy of Abbey Road. Dark green apple, UK first pressing. Here's another UK first pressing of Abbey Road. Dark green apple again. Another Abbey Road. This is a late 70s reissue. And it's on green vinyl. Next is a UK export of Hey Jude. CPCS 106. Here's the dark green apple label. Next is Let It Be. Dark green apple label. Here's another Let It Be. Barely played copy. And last, Past Masters. Here's a collection of my UK Beatles albums in mono. First one is Please Please Me. Ernest J. Day sleeve. And here's the yellow and black Parlophone label. This uses the same matrix numbers as the black and gold pressing released in 1963. Okay, next is With the Beatles. Here's the record here. Okay, next is Hard Day's Night. Ernest J. Day sleeve. And here's the record. Here we have Beatles for Sale. Here's the record. On to Help. Here's the record here. Okay, we have another copy of Help in mono. This is an early 80s print. It's not laminated. It doesn't have the flip backs on the back. And here's the label here. Doesn't have the Soden UK thing under the Parlophone logo. Next we have Rubber Soul. This is a first press-in. It's a loud cut press-in. Matrix numbers are -1 on both sides. Here we have another Rubber Soul in mono. The matrix numbers on this copy is -1 on side 1 and -4 on side 2. Here's the record here. Times New Roman font on the song titles. Next is an early first pressing of Revolver in mono with a withdrawn mono mix of Tomorrow Never Knows on side 2. Matrix number is -1 on side 2. RM11 is the mono mix used. The correct mono mix that was used on later pressings is RM8. Here's the correct pressing of Revolver with Tomorrow Never Knows RM8 mix. And here's a mono copy of Collection of Beatles Oldies but Goldies. And here's the record inside the cover. Next is a barely played copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band in mono. Back of it. Here's a red, pink, and white inner sleeve. The record. And here's the cutouts. And here's the barely played not barely played. This is a played copy of Sgt. Pepper, and I found out that this is the wide spine issue. Right here. This is a wide spine issue. The other one I showed you is not a wide spine, but this one is. I just found out. And here's a cutout. Next we have the White Album, number 0168826, another top loader pressing. And the records are right here. This is record 1 with the black inner sleeve. And here's the pictures. Here's disc 2. And here's the poster. And last mono album is Yellow Submarine. Here's the record. And here's the black inner sleeve right here. Now to go through the rest of the Beatles records, I'm going to start off with a German pressing of Please Please Me in stereo, titled Die Beatles on Horzu. What's unique about this copy? This is a flat vinyl cut from the master tape. There's absolutely no EQing or compression on this. When you put this on, it sounds like you're listening to a master tape. It sounds really good. This is in near mint shape. I haven't played it that much. Next, we have a collection of Beatles oldies but goldies, German pressing and stereo. Next is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This is an American mono pressing. This one I got for $7 and it's in awesome shape. And here is the psychedelic inner sleeve in beautiful shape. Here's the cutouts in nice shape. Next is Magical Mystery Tour. This is a German stereo pressing. Have another Magical Mystery Tour. This is the Capitol mono pressing. Has the book, but it's not stapled properly. But each page is in nice shape. Here's another copy of Magical Mystery Tour. This is a mono one. Next is Abbey Road. This is a German pressing. Next is Let It Be, German pressing. Next is a Holland pressing of the Beatles rarities. Next is a bootleg called Beatles Not For Sale on the NEMS record label. Next is an American pressing of Rubber Soul in stereo. Not in a great shape, but the record plays fine. Next is a Canadian mono pressing of Twist and Shout. This is a first pressing. Has the white bordering around the record here. Next is 20 Greatest Hits. Still in a shrink wrap, and it has the sticker on top here. The record sleeve is made in the US, but the vinyl itself is made in Canada. It's a color band label pressing. Next is a UK Parlophone pressing of Rock and Roll Music. Next we have the Red Album 1962 to 66. This is a German pressing and it's in beautiful shape. It's black vinyl, not red vinyl. This one's on red vinyl. This is a late 70s UK issue of the Red Album. Here's the records here. Next is the late 70s pressing of the Blue Album, 67 to 70. It's a UK pressing on blue vinyl. Here's the American copy of the Blue Album, 67 to 70. This one's in beautiful shape. And this one has the ad, the Apple ad, which is in awesome shape. Next is another steal right here for $6. This is a promo pressing of the Beatles Real Music in near mint shape. There's a shrink wrap and the sticker. And my number is pretty low. It's 0525. And here's the record right here. Inner sleeve here. And here's the souvenir book that's in awesome shape. Next is the Beatles Love Songs. This is a Parlophone pressing. UK pressing. Next is the Beatles Rarities. This is the American one. Next is the Beatles Casualties. This is a bootleg LP on black vinyl, and it has the black capital label. Next is Live at the BBC, American pressing. Next is the Beatles in Italy. This is not a live album. This is a compilation of studio tracks made in Holland. What's unique about this pressing is that it has the whispering intro to I Feel Fine before the bass note, followed by the feedback. Next is Yellow Submarine song track. Next is my latest find, Let It Be Naked, UK pressing. This sounds awesome. This thing is a monster. Next is Beatles Greatest. This is a Swedish pressing. Next is Introducing the Beatles on VJ. This is a original pressing. There's the shadow in front of George. Next is a UK pressing of the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl on Parlophone. And last is Beatles related. This is a George Martin Orchestra album titled Off the Beatle Track. Now to go through the Solo Beatles vinyl collection. First, I'm going to start off with the John Lennon Silver Box. This was released in 1981, UK pressing. Here's all the albums. And to show the albums that are in the box. First one is Plastic Ono Band. Next is Live Peace in Toronto. Imagine. Sometime in New York City. Mind Games. Walls and Bridges. John Lennon, Rock and Roll. And the last LP of the box set, Shave Fish. Next is a UK first pressing of Plastic Ono Band. Here's the back of it. Next is Imagine, UK first pressing. Walls and Bridges, UK first pressing. John Lennon collection from Parlophone in England. This has more songs than Geffen pressing in here in America. Next we have a signed copy of Double Fantasy. This is signed by Earl Slick, who plays guitar on this album. Next is a bootleg called the Toy Boy. Next is Valette by John Lennon's son Julian. Next is Milk and Honey, American pressing. Next is a 12-inch, UK 12-inch of I'm Steppin' Out. Some yokel songs on the B-side. On to Paul McCartney. This is the McCartney album, American pressing on Apple. Next is Ram, UK first pressing. This one's in awesome shape. Next is a recent issue of Ram and Mono on 180 gram vinyl. This is a limited edition. This is my open copy. And here's the sealed copy of Ram and Mono. Next is Band on the Run. This is the American pressing. Next is the McGear album by Mike McGear, Paul McCartney's brother. McGear is like a pseudonym for Mike McCartney. Next is Only Love Remains by Paul McCartney. This is a Parlophone 12-inch. Next is All the Best, American pressing. This one has 17 songs. Next is All the Best, British version. This one has 20 songs. Next we have Paul's Russian album, Choba BCCCP. That's Russian for back in the USSR. Next is Goodnight Tonight, 12-inch single, signed by Steve Holley, the drummer for Wings. Next we have Flowers in the Dirt on Parlophone. Next LP, Trippin' Alive Fantastic Highlights, Capitol pressing. 12 songs selected from the 2 CD set. Next is Wings Greatest, American pressing. This is a McCartney 2 promo record for DJ use only. I got this a couple years ago. Next is Memory Almost Full from 2007 on Hear Music. Next is Paul's latest album, Kisses on the Bottom. Next is The Fireman, Electric Arguments. This is a German pressing, number 5613. On to George Harrison, All Things Must Pass is first here. This is an American pressing, but the vinyl records are made in the UK. Next is Living in a Material World, German pressing, EMI Electrola. Next is Extra Texture, Italian pressing, EMI Italiana. Next is Best of George Harrison on Parlophone. Next is Cloud 9, American Dark Horse label. Traveling Wilburys Volume 1. This is a Canadian pressing of Best of Dark Horse 1976 to 1989. It's his greatest hits from the Dark Horse years, plus some tracks that were never put on the studio album. Next is Brainwashed, a Holland pressing. This is the latest LP right here, George Harrison Early Takes Volume 1. Have some Ringo here, Blast from Your Past on Apple, American pressing. And next is Why Not. And finally, Ringo 2012. I'm going to conclude this Beatles vinyl collection video by showing the 45s. I'm going to start off with the Record Store Day box from 2011. This is a Black Friday issue of the Beatles singles. There's 4 singles in here. Has the single hub right here. And one of my favorite shots of the band is a big poster. And it's limited edition. I don't know what the number is on this copy. I haven't opened it. I don't even plan to open this at all. The next box sets are Target exclusives from 2011. Each box has a 7-inch single and a t-shirt. First one is Can't Buy Me Love with You Can't Do That. Help with I'm Down. Hello Goodbye with I Am the Walrus. And finally, Let It Be with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. And next is a Record Store Day pressing from 2010. This is the Paperback Writer single with Rain on the flip side. This is in stereo. And this is my unplayed copy of the same single. Next is a 50th anniversary reissue of the Love Me Do single with P.S. I Love You on the back. This is the correct pressing with the version of Love Me Do with Ringo on drums. The error pressing is the one with where Ringo plays the tambourine instead of drums. Haven't played this one since I received it. Next is Yesterday with Act Naturally. Next is She Loves You on Swan with I'll Get You on the back. Next we have Paperback Writer on Parlophone. This is a mono pressing from 1966. On the back is Rain. Next we have I Want to Hold Your Hand on Parlophone with This Boy on the back. This is a first pressing from '63 in mono. Next is Strawberry Fields Forever on Parlophone with Penny Lane on the back, a mono single. This one is a mono single too. This is Hey Jude with Revolution. This is the American pressing. Next is Hello Goodbye on the Capital Swirl label with I Am the Walrus on the back. This is the first pressing. And next is the Magical Mystery Tour EP. This is the first pressing from 1967, and it's in stereo. And here's record 2 right here. Here's another copy of Magical Mystery Tour. This is also a UK first pressing, and it's in mono. book right here. Record 1 and record 2. Next, we have Lady Madonna with the Inner Light. This is a mid-70s pressing on Parlophone. Next is a UK first pressing of Get Back with Don't Let Me Down on the flip. This is a mono single. And the final single in the UK that was released in mono by the Beatles. Next is the Beatles movie medley. This is not the original picture sleeve. I printed it off the internet. I took scans from the internet and printed it. And on the back side is Fab 4 on film. This is an interview track where the Beatles talk about A Hard Day's Night. This is a promo press-in. There's very limited of this press. When I bought this, it didn't have the picture sleeve. I really wanted this single because there's very limited of it. And before it was officially released, they took Fab 4 on film off the B-side and replaced it with I'm Happy Just to Dance With You. I don't have that I don't have the official single in my collection. Next is a French EP of songs from Help. All 4 songs are in mono. Next is a Revolver EP in Spain. This is a Spanish pressing. On this side, the songs on this side are Eleanor Rigby and Got to Get You Into My Life. On the back is Dr. Robert, spelled DR, with I Want to Tell You on the B side. All songs are in mono. Next is a mid-70s Capitol pressing of Obladi Oblada with Julia. This is a single release in the mid-70s. Here's my number, 435-629. Mid-70s orange label. Next we have I Want to Hold Your Hand with I Saw Her Standing There. The next set of 45s are stuff from the Decca audition from 1962, all from the bootleg label called Decagon. First one is Three Cool Cats with Hello Little Girl, orange vinyl. Next is To Know Him Is to Love Him with Besame Mucho. They sing it as To Know Her Is to Love Her on the recording on green vinyl. Next is Sure to Fall, backed with Money. Crying, Waiting, Hoping with Till There Was You. Next, Memphis with Love of the Loved. Searching with Like Dreamers Do. Chic of Araby with September in the Rain. That's the last of the Decagon 45s. There's only 7 of them. Next is 4 by the Beatles. It's an American EP. This has Honey Don't, I'm a Loser on side A. Side B is Mr. Moonlight with Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. Next we have Lady Madonna with Inner Light on Capitol Swirl label. And All You Need Is Love on Capitol Swirl with Baby You're a Rich Man on the back. Next is the John Lennon singles bag. This is a Record Store Day pressing from 2010. Limited edition of 7,000 copies. This is my number, 1188. Here's details on the back. And here's the stuff that's in the singles bag. Here's the hub. And next are the singles that are in the single bag. This is Mother, with a Yoko Ono song called Why on the back. Next is Imagine with It's So Hard. And the last single of the singles bag is Watching the Wheels with Yes I'm Your Angel, a Yoko track on the flip. And here are the postcards with the covers of each single. And here's the poster of John and Yoko. I'm not going to bother opening it. Next is Live and Let Die by Wings. This is a UK pressing. It's signed by Wings guitarist Henry McCullough. On the back is I Lie Around. Next is Listen to What the Man Said by Wings. This is an American pressing with Lovin' Song. Next is Mauve Kintyre, UK pressing with Girls School on the back. And next are Capitol Jukebox singles by Paul McCartney. There's 3 of them I'm going to show. The first of the 3 is Hope of Deliverance. On the back is a great rocker called Long Leather Coat. Next is Off the Ground with Cosmically Conscious. It's on white vinyl. And the last jukebox single is Your Lovin' Flame with Lonely Road. Next are I'm going to show 3 copy of Paul McCartney Christmas Kisses. The first copy is the open one. It has Paul's cover of the Christmas song Chestnuts Roasted on an Open Fire with Wonderful Christmas Time on the flip side. This is the green vinyl. It's limited to 2,000 copies. 1,000 is on red vinyl and 1,000 is on green. And I'm proud to say that I own 1 copy of each, 1 green vinyl and 1 red vinyl. This is the green one, sealed. And this one is the red vinyl, sealed. Sorry, this is George Harrison, My Sweet Lord with Isn't It a Pity. And next is Photograph by Ringo Starr. Here's the label here. On the flip side is Down and Out. And last is Buck Owens and Ringo Starr, Act Naturally. This is a white label promo pressing. Song repeats on both sides. This is an awesome find. And that concludes my magical mystery tour through my Beatles vinyl collection, both group and solo. I hope you enjoy this, and talk to you all later.